Is it 6 p.m. and you haven't even started unwinding yet? Or maybe you were just about to log off when that urgent email popped up. You might feel guilty even thinking about disconnecting from work. But here's the thing, you need to log off in order to recharge. And in this video, I'm going to explain why and how to do it without feeling guilty. We're all terminally tech connected, and it can be tough to break the habit of checking emails or instant messages every few minutes, even when we don't really want to. But by setting boundaries around when and where you work, you can improve your mental health and overall well-being. So if you're ready to take back control of your time and make logging off easier, stick around. If you're new here, welcome. I'm an organizational psychologist, and I help you get the most out of work and life. And today we're talking about the sometimes difficult topic of logging off. Because if you're watching this video, chances are you have felt some guilt about disconnecting from work, whether it's working overtime every day or checking email on your vacation. It can be hard to draw the line between being a dedicated worker and burning out. So let's start with the science. Why do we even feel guilty about disconnecting? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First, we're constantly connected through technology, and it seems like work is always there waiting for us. Email, instant messages, and other digital tools make it easy to check in from anywhere at any time. Second, we live in a culture that values hustle and being busy. But the truth is, rest is just as important as hard work. And finally, many of us have experienced some negative consequences for disconnecting in the past. Maybe you lost out on a promotion because you didn't answer emails over the weekend, or perhaps you missed an important message while you were on vacation. These experiences can make it difficult to fully disconnect moving forward. But it doesn't have to be this way. By following these 3 tips, you can disconnect from work without the guilt, so you can come back refreshed and recharged. First, turn off work notifications. Now I know what you're thinking, easier said than done. Notifications are designed to grab our attention and convince us that we need to stop what we're doing and focus on them. To overcome this, you need to first recognize that checking a notification immediately doesn't make you more efficient. In fact, it can actually reduce your productivity because you're constantly switching between tasks. Second, establish some ground rules around notifications. For example, you could decide not to check your work phone while you're on vacation, or set specific times during the day when you'll check messages. You can also turn off non-essential notifications on your computer and phone so they're not constantly interrupting you. Finally, resist the urge to check your email or other work-related messages outside of work hours. If you feel anxious about missing something important, consider setting up an out-of-office message or an auto-reply to let people know that you won't be checking your messages frequently and that you'll get back to them as soon as you can once you're back in the office. Remember, taking control of your notifications can help you stay focused on the task at hand and prevent you from feeling anxious or stressed out about being constantly connected. Second, create a digital sunset routine. A digital sunset routine is a series of steps you take at the end of the workday to signal to yourself and others that you're done for the day. This could include closing down your work programs, putting away any work-related materials, and even changing into more comfortable clothes. By establishing a clear end to your workday, you'll be able to relax and enjoy your personal time more fully. One great way to create a digital sunset routine is to use the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule states that if something takes less than 2 minutes to do, get it done right away. For example, if you get an email from a colleague asking for feedback on a project, you could open it and respond quickly instead of marking it as read and forgetting about it. However, if you receive an email asking for input on a project that will require more than 2 minutes to respond to, save it for the next day. This approach will help you avoid the temptation to check email or other work-related messages outside of work hours. Another tactic you can employ is to create a block on your calendar for personal time. Blocking out time on your calendar for self-care activities such as exercise, reading, or spending time with friends and family can help ensure that you actually make time for those things. When you block out time for personal activities, treat them as important meetings or appointments that you wouldn't miss for the world. Additionally, you can share your availability with colleagues so they know when you're likely to be busy with personal matters and can avoid scheduling meetings or calls during that time. Remember, creating a digital sunset routine can help you establish a clear boundary between work and personal life. And that's essential for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Third, separate your physical workspace from your personal space. Now, I know this can be challenging, especially if you work from home, but it's important to remember that your workspace should be a place where you go to do work and not a place where you relax. Now, if you work in a shared space with colleagues, this may be easy. You simply leave the office when you're done working. However, if you work from home, you need to find ways to separate your workspace from your living space. Here are a few tips to help you do that. First, you can try to designate a specific area in your home as your workspace. This could be a spare bedroom, a corner of your living room, or even a spot at the kitchen table. Just make sure that it's a place where you can focus on work and that you can easily tidy up and leave when you're done for the day. Second, you can try to keep your workspace neat and organized. This will help you mentally separate your work tasks from your personal life, and it will also help you be more productive when you're working. Try using storage solutions like shelves, filing cabinets, and baskets to keep your workspace tidy. Finally, you can try to establish a daily routine that includes leaving your workspace at the end of the day. This could involve tidying up your desk, packing up your work materials, and closing the door to your office. By establishing a routine, you'll be able to mentally transition from work mode to relaxation mode more easily. Remember, it's okay to take a break and come back refreshed. If you found these tips helpful, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about how to manage your time effectively, check out my video on how to prioritize your to-do list. Thanks for watching. See you next time.